are going to start with the poem The Last Bargain. As I have already given you an introduction of the poem in the previous lecture, you just have an overview of what is said by the poet. Who is the poet here? Who is the writer? Who is the poet here? It's Rabindranath Tagore. Okay, Rabindranath Tagore, the famous Indian poet, he has written this poem. But as you know that Rabindranath Tagore is always enclosing very deep meanings in his poem. So in this poem, the poet, he is highlighting the importance of freedom, that nothing is important in our life. It is only freedom that is invaluable, that is liked by all, that no one would ever like to sacrifice. And for freedom, or freedom is incomparable with other, you can say, with other things of life. The poet is saying that a person is going from one person to another in order to hire him. Hire him means to provide him some job, to give him some work, so that in return he could get money. So what he said that first of all he has gone to the king. You know that king is very rich. What he will do? He will provide him power in return. But what he wanted, he only wanted, he was not ready to do work. He did not want that power. So in this manner, he is going to different persons who are offering different things to him so that he can get in return of providing his job. And finally, what the man agrees to be hired for. Let us see in the poem. So what is bargain? I told you what is bargain. Bargain is actually an agreement. It's an agreement. See, it is mentioned here. A bargain is an agreement in which both parties promise to do something for each other. Both the parties, they agree on an agreement that they will do something for each other. Someone is looking for work, waiting to be hired. He strikes a bargain but thinks it worthless. So, someone is looking for work, someone is trying to look for a job, and he wanted to get hired. He strikes a bargain but thinks it worthless. Why bargain means? He is offering his services and in return he is getting something from the man to whom he is offering his services, or he offering himself to do the work. But finally he thinks that everything is worthless. Worthless means useless. He tries twice again but doesn't like either. He further went to 2 to 3 different people, but he did not like the offer provided by them. And finally, in the last bargain, when he is hired for nothing, whatever, he is happy as never before. But in the last, when he went to a young boy and he told him that he will hire him for nothing, he was very happy. Why he was happy? What's the bargain? Why is it the best? So let us see what's the bargain and why it is the best. So let us see here. Come, come and hire me, I cried, while in the morning I was walking on the stone paved road. Stone paved road means the road which is made up of stone. Paved is actually footpath. So what he is saying, in the morning the poet is saying, I went out and I was moving upon the stone paved road. Stone paved road is symbolic of life. What it symbolizes? It symbolizes life. That life is not easy. It is hard to live. We face many kind of problems and we have to make different kind of decisions in life. I was walking on the stone paved road. Sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. So, next afterwards, while he was moving, whom he has seen? He has seen that a king was coming in his chariot. What the king was having in his hand? The king was having in his hand a sword, and the king has come in his chariot. So how the king is coming? He is coming in his chariot. Chariot means, you know, the wagon in which the king used to sit in older times. He held my hand and said, I'll hire you with my power. So he held his hand out, he extended his hand and told the poet that I will hire you. I'll hire you means if you will do work for me, I'll provide you my power. You will be under the shelter of my power. But, but is power counted for naught? Naught means nothing. Not means nothing. But the poet is saying that power was nothing for me. I did not need power. And he went away in his chariot. And he went away in his chariot because the man was not ready. Who's the man here? The poet. The poet was not ready to be hired. So he went away. Next, in the heat of the midday, the houses stood with shut doors. In the heat of midday means when he is, you can say heat of the midday, it symbolizes the part of life which is very troublesome. So, in the heat of the midday, the houses stood with shut doors. The houses stood with shut doors, all the doors were closed. It means that he was not having any opportunity in front of him. Doors or windows, they signify some chances, some opportunities. But all the doors were shut means he did not have any opportunity. I wandered along the crooked lane. Crooked lane means the lane which was not so smooth. It means that earlier he was moving on stone paved road. It means that life was difficult. Life was full of hardships. But it is now crooked lane. What it means? It means that it means that now he is suffering from the part of his life when it was not going. It was not so smooth and he is facing number of problems. He has to go there and he has to pass the life, but he is not finding an appropriate path to go through. An old man came out with his bag of gold. So, on his way to the crooked land, what he has seen an old man who has come out with his bag of gold. He was having bag of gold. He pondered, ponder means to think. He pondered and said, he looked at me that I need some job. And what he did, he pondered and said, I will hire you with my money. If you will do work for me, then I will give you my money. Now, because he was having gold, he offered the man that he will give money in return. He weighed his coins one by one, but I turned away. He started counting his coins one by one in order to give him in return for the type of job he has done. But what he said, I turned away. I moved away, right? He moved away from that place. So, what we have read here, we have read in the two paragraphs that first of all, the man or the poet, he has met the king who has offered him all his power. He has offered him all his power and told him that he will be under the shelter of his power. But what the man said? The man said, no. No, I don't want your power. For that, something you must have taken away from me. And I won't be hired for that, you can say, for that power. Then, ultimately where he has gone to a man who was having a bag of gold. The poet was offering his services to him in order to get hired, but when the man told that in return to his services, he will give him he will give him some gold, and he started counting the coins of gold. But the man thought, what I will do with this gold? For that, I have to do work for the man, but ultimately, that money is nothing for me. I don't want that money. And finally, what happened? He left that man also, that he did not want to be hired. Next, afterwards, see, next where the poet has gone, let us see here. In the evening. In the evening means the other part of his life. Okay. Then what he said, the garden hedge was all a flower. Garden hedge means a boundary which is made up of, you can say, special kind of plant around the garden. You must have seen hedges. And it was all a flower. It was all completely covered with flowers. It was completely in its blooming stage. Sorry. And the fair maid came out and said, fair maid, beautiful lady came, who was taking care of the garden. He came to the poet and said, I will hire you with a smile. I'll hire you with a smile means that I will hire you if you will do work for me. In return, I will give you my smile. Smile here refers to beauty. So what he said, that I will hire you with my beauty. I'll provide you my beauty and you will have the charm of my beauty. You will enjoy my beauty. Her smile paled and melted into tears, and she went back alone into the dark. So what the woman, when the man said, no, I don't want to be hired for your beauty, because beauty is nothing for me and I don't want beauty. The woman, her smile paled. Her smile paled means her smile finished from her face, and she started shedding out tears, and ultimately she went into the dark. Went into the dark means tough part of the life when there is no hope, right? So now again, what happened? The poet glistened on the sand, the sun glistened on the sand, and the sea waves broke waywardly. Now he has come to the happy part of his life. The sun glistened on the sand. It means the rays of the sun, they were falling onto the sand, and the sun was shining. The sea waves broke waywardly. Waywardly means on a wave, the sea waves, they were coming to the shore and they were again receding back. So beautiful scene is being presented there. A child sat playing with the shells. So what was there? A child was sitting there and he was playing with the shells. What the child was doing? The child was playing with the shells. It means he does not have any worry. And he raised his head and seemed to know me and said, I hire you with nothing. So when the boy, he looked at the poet, he told the poet that he will hire him, but in return, he will not give him anything. Ultimately, it means that he will not curtail his freedom. He will not stop his freedom. He will not make him a prisoner, because all the persons with whom he has gone further, all were giving him, the king was giving him power, and it means that he is bound to stay with the king. Whatever they tell him, he has to do that. Next, when he has gone to the man with the bag of gold, if a man will give him a bag of gold or some coins of gold, he will have to do everything whatever is told by the man in return to get the gold. And later on, when the beautiful lady has offered him her smile, she must have told him to work in the garden and to do anything. But, but it means with all these three persons, he will be bound. He will be under their wishes. The poet will find himself in shackles, in boundaries. He will feel that he is not free at all to do whatever he wants. So, for that, he was not at all ready to do these things. So, when the boy offered him that he will offer him his freedom, so he thought, yes, this is actually what he wants, because nothing is important in his life than freedom. It means that nothing is comparable to that of freedom. One can get everything from life. One can get everything in life, but freedom is invaluable. One cannot get freedom even after putting all his life to sacrifice. So what he thought that yes, this actually I want. From henceforward. Henceforward means after this day forever, that bargain struck in child's play made me a free man. So the poet is saying then afterwards, the boy offered to play with him and in return he will give him nothing. It means that he will offer him his freedom only. So finally, what happened? He said that afterward, what happened? This bargain, it struck the mind of the poet. He felt this a very valuable and useful bargain, and ultimately he thought that if his freedom is with him, or if he is given his freedom, this bargain is the best bargain, and this deal is the best deal, because he is a free man. So, I hope that the poem is clear. If you have any doubt in any para, you can raise up your hands. Fine. Okay, Kritika said fine. Right? So, what the poet wants to deliver through this poem is that nothing is important in life. Nothing is important. In life, we face many kind of, you can say, problems, and ultimately we have to make many kind of, you can say, we have to make many kinds of sacrifices. We have to make many kind of deals, but ultimately it is not these sacrifices that matters, because we have to face these kind of problems in life, but ultimately our freedom should not be curtailed. Our freedom should not be sacrificed, because if freedom is lost, then everything is lost. So freedom is one of the most important thing, and that should never be lost for a person. Freedom is always the most important thing in life, that always provide a person with all the happiness. So a person should always be happy with his freedom. Otherwise, the person will feel that everything is lost in his life, right? So this is what we have read in the poem. So it means the poet is not giving any importance to gold and wealth. Even gold and wealth, they did not attract him. And money was not anything with him, because he knew that with money he cannot buy everlasting happiness. Okay? With money he cannot buy everlasting happiness, because money can be spent soon. And when money will be spent soon, then ultimately what will happen? He will not be free again. So ultimately what he thought, that his life, it would not be a free one. Then afterwards, in the evening, when he met a lady who is offering the poet with his beauty and flowers all around. The speaker also, or the poet, he is feeling. He is feeling that her happiness was only short-lived, that her smile will only be short-lived. It will never be everlasting for him. It is, you can say, it is only sorrowful. It is not actual beauty which will provide him happiness. It will not last long. It will be finished at one time, and ultimately He also did not find it valuable for himself. And later on, what he found, the speaker finally, when he met a boy, he thought that this is the best bargain with him, because the boy was offering him with his freedom, and he thought that he will still be a free man and he will receive everlasting happiness playing with this innocent child. So finally, he has made this, you can say, compromise. Sorry, he has made this bargain and he has never compromised his happiness. It means real joy, everlasting happiness. For real joy, for everlasting happiness, we never need money. Money can never make us happy. Although money is a part of our life, with money we can buy many things. But with power, with money, and with beauty, this will not provide us happiness. Freedom and innocence make a person's life happy, because he found innocence in the young child. He found that the child was quite innocent. So this is the reason why he felt that he should go with that bargain. Okay, but ultimately what he thought, that freedom is only how it is attained, it is only attained for doing nothing. Means freedom is everlasting. He found that happiness. It means that he found happiness in his freedom. It means power, money, and beauty, they are for life, but this doesn't mean that they will provide you happiness. Contentment means satisfaction. This doesn't mean that. Okay, so I hope that it is clear to you. It is clear. Poem is clear, right? So if you have any doubt, you can ask me, raise up your hand. So this poem, what it does, it clearly depicts, it clearly depicts the importance of freedom, that freedom is more worthy even than money or beauty or power. If someone is employed, employed means given a job or a work, then he became a servant to the other person. But when he work for nothing, it means he can finally be free. And while playing with the child, he feels that he will be free forever. And this is what we have read in the poem. So with that, the poem is complete, and tomorrow we will do the question answers of the poem. So let us do first one, which is quite easier one. Who is the speaker in the poem? Yes.
The man looking for a job or for his employer is the speaker in the poem.
Or the poet Rabindranath Tagore himself is the speaker, who is passing through a stone paved road in order to get a job, in order to get hired. Right? The king's sword in hand suggests his wealth, his power, or more power than wealth.
Empowers.
Power. It's power only, right? So these are the two objective type of questions which we have to do. The rest of the questions we will do tomorrow. If you have any doubt, you can ask me, and you just raise up your hand so that I can discuss with you. Right? So that's all for today, and tomorrow we will continue with the back exercise of this poem.